Okay, I will first disclaim viewer discretion advised. If you are a liberal or a Democrat, you might as well just click to end right now or just take off out the door because viewer discretion advised for you people. So, as you can see, I'm rocking the Canadian paraphernalia here. So, we've got the Canadian shirt and we've got the Canadian flag. And clearly, you know what this video is going to be about. And look at this, I've got the Canadians hat on here. This hat is so old that my name and phone number are on the inside of this hat right here. So today I want to talk to three things here that are just driving me bonkers about this Prime Minister and some of the stuff that he's pulling and what he's doing here, and it really should aggravate you as a Canadian or even you as an American. If you're a conservative in America, this should irritate you too, and I want to talk to that. So first, I just want to throw up some idioms that are very applicable for what is going on right now with the My Sharona virus, not to belittle that, but anyways, and just with the gun violence that we saw on the weekend in Nova Scotia. And I'm not belittling that whatsoever, but I want to talk to just some of the implications that are taking place there as well. So let me throw up some idioms. So the first one, let's go on with this one of foot in the door. That is Justin Trudeau's foot pounding through that door, and that is something to keep in mind here. With just getting a foot in the door, and before you know it, he'll be in, lying on your sofa, eating all your food. The second one, you give him an inch, and he'll take a mile. And the only way to fight back is to give him the boot and show the Prime Minister that we're not going to take it. Number three, the slippery slope into oblivion, and that is where we're going. And what I'll say to this point here is that it's never a 180-degree turn. It isn't. It's a degree here, it's a degree there, and before you know it, you're like, what just happened? Where are we going now as a country? And the last thing, number four, and my favorite one, do not allow a camel to put his nose under the edge of your tent, for soon you will have Justin Trudeau eating your pillow and all your food and kicking you out of your own tent. So that is the last one, very applicable for what we're seeing right now. So the first thing I want to get into is just on this whole coronavirus and everything that's going on here. And in Canada, I know there are people that are watching me from the States, but in Canada, our country is bigger. We've got a larger area, and therefore our people are spread out a lot more. We have, if you look at per person, we've got half the amount of cases that you have, and our country is bigger. So we've got half of the amount of cases per capita, I think less than half now than you do in the US. And our measures that we're putting up here in this country are even more than you guys. Our Prime Minister, he's been talking that it's going to be months. He just started to relax on this and started to say weeks. And the only reason why he did that is because he's starting to get some pushback. There's starting to be some demonstrations taking place. There was one done in Vancouver not too long ago. There are people that are getting fed up with this. This has gone way over the top, and on Twitter, end the lockdown was, I think, the top trending tweet on Twitter. So there's just a big revolt that's starting to take place, thank goodness, because Mr. Trudeau is in no rush to get us back to work. And that sounds pretty crazy, but here is the reason being. Guess what party forks over the cash? Oh, yes. So, your business is struggling. Would you like some money? Oh, you haven't worked. We haven't let you work in months. Would you like some money? Come, please vote for our party so we can throw some helicopter money from the sky to get your vote. That's why he's not in a rush to get us back, folks, is because his party is benefiting from this crisis. The Liberals' mantra is, and you can look at it all over the world, it's not just in Canada, the Liberal mantra is, we are going to save you. Canadians, we are going to save you. People around the world, we will save you. So if it's not the climate change, the climate green movement, it's the My Sharona virus. We're going to save you. Please let us save you. We are here to help you. Don't go back to work. Oh, there's not very many cases, but don't go back to work. Go bankrupt. Let's see all the implications that take place from us preventing you from working for months. That is going to do way more harm. And I know we keep hearing this, but it is so true. The cure is going to be worse than the disease. The cure here is going to take forever. And this is going to ride us for the decades to come with the debt that we've accumulated, with all the social issues that are going on right now. All of that is just going to make things a lot worse going forward in the future than if we just buckled down. And I'm not saying we shouldn't take any precautions, but give me a break. This has gone way too far. And finally, Canadians are starting to revolt. And finally, the Trudeau government is starting to ease back a little bit. And I mean only a little bit. Look at the US. Look at Trump, what he's doing. Everything that he's been saying is get back to work ASAP. Compared to our prime minister, oh, well, it might be months. It might be the summer. Who knows? Let's just see. We can't go back too early. And I know Trump has the elections coming up, but honestly, even if the election was in 4 years, he would still be doing the same thing, trying to get people back to work ASAP. So that is the first thing that's driving me crazy. The second thing that is driving me crazy about this character is on Easter. So back on Easter weekend, he went on to his usual little rant on CBC that he does every day, and he goes on there and says, this Easter's going to be different, fellow Canadians. We really need to take care of ourselves. We need to stay home, and we won't be able to go and celebrate Easter with our families. We won't be able to have the big dinners and the Easter egg hunts. We won't be able to do that. We have to hunker down, and you need to Skype. That's what he said. We need to Skype for our celebrations this Easter. And what does this character go and do? He goes into another province where his cottage is over the weekend with his big entourage of people that come with him for security. They go to his cottage in a different province when the premiers of both of those provinces were saying do not travel between provinces. And of course, again, the prime minister is exempt from his own rules. I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't claim I am. But how would you have the gall to do that? On Friday, you tell people to stay home, and then the next day, you go to a different province to your cottage. I mean, give your head a shake, man. So that is another thing that's driving me crazy about this guy. The last thing I'll get into is that no tragedy is wasted. So now let me get into the whole tragedy that's taken place in Nova Scotia, where a lot of people have lost their lives because of a gunman. And what does Trudeau do immediately as soon as that happens? Doesn't even let things settle. He goes straight into gun control. I mean, he doesn't even let the dust settle on this. And yes, if you want to go into something like that, put that on the shelf for something to deal with later. Don't deal with that now. Don't take advantage of the situation and your agenda, which you have been trying to jam down people's throats for years. He has been trying to do this ever since he got in office back 4 years ago. He goes and uses this tragedy, and as Hillary Clinton says, no tragedy should go wasted as a liberal or a Democrat. Use that situation to further your agenda. Yes, she said something right along those lines. And Trudeau's doing this. And the saddest thing about this, and I'm not in favor of guns, I'm not against guns, I'm totally neutral. I'm totally neutral to this. We don't even know what weapon the guy used. Did he use a big... He didn't even have to use a big automatic rifle or whatever that can shoot tons of rounds. He went all over the place, so it's not like he needed one of those types of guns. We don't even know yet. But yet Trudeau has it convinced that he's going to push this forward now, and look at the timing of this, folks. So, for you people that do support guns out there, and I know in the US that is the Second Amendment is a big thing, but look what he's doing. He's now putting through this in a rush order, and oh, can people protest this one? Let's see, can people protest this one? No, they can't, because the Majorana virus is still out there and you can't gather in groups. So you can't protest this one. So I wonder if Trudeau knew about that. I think he probably did. I think he probably did, and he's going to ram this down when people can't demonstrate because they can't go out in public or they'll get ticketed for doing so. So you can't get in big crowds. So he's rushing this bill through right now. So another thing, again, and I'm not for or against guns, but this is just craziness, the stuff that he's trying to pull off here. Us as Canadians have to start sticking up for this. And we need to start giving him the boot here and putting a little bit of a revolt, or otherwise we'll be turning a degree here, a degree there, and before you know it, we won't recognize our country anymore. We just won't. I'm already starting to get to that point right now. The amount of changes that have taken place in the last 4 years since Trudeau has got in has been crazy, and it's only going to get worse unless we stick up for our country. So please do like this video, share it. Let's put a little bit of pressure on this Prime Minister, because I think we've had enough.